Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Coffee with the Moms. Lisa's here today, and today I have some Dollar Tree St. Patty's Day DIYs for you guys. These actually were really easy to make and very affordable, and they actually came out really cute. And if you guys are new here, welcome, and let's start crafting. Okay, so the first DIY we're going to start out is this vase I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just using my green acrylic paint, and I mixed it in with a black chalk paint so it can actually stick. I actually gave this 2 coats, and it actually covered up pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little coins that you can get at Dollar Tree and just hot glue them all around the vase. And when you come to the very end, you might have to overlap them just a little bit, and because that's what I did, I needed to put another one right there. And all I did was hot glue that right down there. And then what I did was I just took some floral that I actually already had from the spring collection from last year. I think they still have this at Dollar Tree, but I did grab some of these like green floral that I did get at Dollar Tree for St. Patty's Day, and I just kind of like placed them in there, and this actually came out really cute. Very easy to make, guys, and it would be really cute on a table or like a tier tray because it's very small. Okay, so the next DIY is going to be this luck sign. I've been actually seeing these luck signs pretty much everywhere, like Big Lots, that type of thing. And anyway, they're really expensive. So what you're going to need is this garland from Dollar Tree, and you're going to need to pull off 4 shamrocks. Make sure you grab the tape, get all that out of there, sand it down as best as you can. Okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to take each shamrock and you're going to do a different paint on each one. So like this one's going to be a brown one, and I actually used the Waverly wax on that. And then this one is going to be a green shamrock. And the next 2, I actually decided to do scrapbook paper. I already had that. But you can actually pick up this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. And what you're going to do is you're just going to trace around the shamrock and cut it out. Now make sure you take your time cutting this out. This actually took me 2 attempts to cut out. And then I just took a glue stick and glued that right on there. Now this is a white scrapbook paper with little green shamrocks. And then I took this other green shamrock paper as well. And I do like to use the craft glue stick just so there's no bumps or anything like that. Okay, so you're going to take some of these tumbling tower blocks, and I decided to take the Waverly wax brown paint and just give it that 1 coat. Now I did use 8 tumbling blocks. You want to make sure to do 2 or more for each shamrock. So all I did was do 1 coat of that, and then as you guys can see, the letters, I did get those at Dollar Tree. You can get a pack of those for $1, and that I just did like a black. But you guys can do whatever color you want, that type of thing. But I only gave it 1 coat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these together like this, and just make sure there's 4 of them all together. And then all I did was hot glue the letters to the shamrocks. Very simple. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take these tumbling towers and you're going to glue it right there. And so it can stand. Now, the more the better, but I think 2 is pretty good. And that's about it, guys. And this actually came out really nice and really cute. I did see this at Big Lots for like $12.99 or something like that. And I made this for $1. And with all the materials that you have in your craft room, I bet there's something. Okay, so the next DIY is this sign that I got at Dollar Tree. Now, they always have like these wooden signs at Dollar Tree, but I never know what to do with them. And I don't want it to make it like cheap looking. So what I did was I just took some of my paint, started painting it, and I took that green acrylic paint that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just painted around. And then what I did was I'm going to take this elephant gray Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to give that one coat on the 3 hearts. And that's all you need, just one coat. You might need 2 coats for the green, but it's totally up to you guys. And then what I decided to do is I wanted to make it look more high-end. So I decided to take my Cricut machine and just do these like sayings from St. Patty's Day, like lucky, shenanigans, you know, stuff like that. Now you guys can always do sticker letters. Cricut machine's definitely easier because you can just type it right in there and it prints right out. But you guys can always do paint, markers, stuff like that. So you guys can see here, it does say lucky on here. I put shenanigans at an angle because it is a long word. And then I decided to put leprechaun on the other side of that. And it was actually really simple. Now you guys can always just leave it like this, but for me, I feel like it needs a little something something. So I just decided to go in my stash and try to find something else. So I actually came across this shamrock, and it's just a felt shamrock that I actually already had, and all I did was just hot glue that right onto the sign. Now you guys can always just leave it as is, very modern, but I felt like it needed a little bit more of something. So I decided to wrap this jute around the end of it, and then I decided to take this jute and go around the hearts. Just hot glue that around the hearts. Now, after I did this, I did take a lighter and kind of take the edges off of that jute a little bit because it was fraying. So just hot glue that just around those. And that's what I did, guys. And I'm actually glad I did wrap their jute around there just to give it a little bit more character. And I thought this sign actually came out really, really cute. And it actually looks like it's worth more than $1. Okay, so the next DIY is going to be this Irish Kisses crate. So I made one of these for Valentine's Day, and I decided to make one for, you know, for St. Patty's Day. So just taking a Dollar Tree crate, painting it green, and taking a dowel, cutting it to size, and definitely when you cut the dowels, definitely sand the edges of it. And you can get dowels at Dollar Tree. You get popsicle sticks at Dollar Tree. That's the nice thing about Dollar Tree because you always can get a good quantity of it. But anyway, I cut the little edges off that popsicle stick, and you're going to need 2 popsicle sticks, okay? I was going to just do 1, but I decided to do 2. So I'm just taking that Waverly wax paint, painting that, and you can give it more than 1 coat. I just wanted 1 coat, but I decided to take that wax paint and just kind of dry brushing the crate a little bit, just so it looks more rustic. I don't like things very perfect, that type of thing. And then, of course, you can always smooth that out with your finger, and I love doing that just to give it more of a smudge effect. So by taking the dowels that are dried now, you're going to hot glue those right at those corners, 2 of them right at the corners. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take those popsicle sticks, and that's when I decided to do 2 of them because 1 of them is not going to be enough. So I decided to write Irish Kisses 5 cents. Now this is actually a paint marker from Dollar Tree. It says glass paint marker, but you guys can use it for anything. And it actually worked really well. So I decided to do that. And then I took another extra popsicle stick and kind of gluing those 2 pieces onto the back, just to give it more of a secured. And then I did cut the edges off as well. And then all I did was hot glue that to the dowels, and then I put extra hot glue on the back just to give it more of a support. So then I felt like, okay, it needs a little bit more something. So I decided to take some of my stickers that I already had, guys, in my stash, and I just kind of put a little shamrock there. You can actually paint a shamrock up there, which actually would be really cool. And then I took some of that scrapbook paper, from my last project, and I just am doing like a little bunting flag, kind of cutting it to size, that type of thing. I did 4 little flags, and then I just decided to, and that's the thing. The one thing about crafting, that sometimes it doesn't go as planned. Like I wanted to do like this white yarn, and then I'm like, okay, let's bring up the green yarn. The green was a little bit too bright in my opinion, so I'm like, okay, jute it is. So all I decided was to tie a string of jute on each end of those little poles and kind of just cutting the excess off of that. Now, by creating a buttoning flag, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can do a bunch of flags, you can do a bunch of tassels, you can do anything. You could just leave it like this if you want it. But I decided to take that twine, the white twine that I actually got at Dollar Tree, and kind of making a tassel of it. You just loop it around your fingers a couple times, 4 or 5 times, and then just cutting that off. And then what I did was I hot glued the tassels and the little paper little flags right to that twine. It was really easy, and this came out really, really cute. And actually, this is one of my favorite things I kind of like doing. I got a lot of compliments with the Valentine's Day one, so I definitely had to do one for St. Patty's Day. I did decide to do a little bit different than just putting candy in here. I decided to put like little shamrocks in here and like little coins just for something different. Okay, so the last DIY is a gnome, guys. Of course, I have to do a gnome. So these socks you can get at Dollar Tree. I picked up this one. I filled it up with rice. Now I'm going to make a smaller one because I kind of maybe want to put this on my tier tray. I'm not like 100% sure. But you fill it up with rice, you tie it off, and then you cut the excess sock off. Now make sure you keep the extra sock, and then you're going to kind of place that on there so it's like his little hat. And you don't have to hot glue it. You can just put it right on there. If you want to secure it with hot glue, that's fine. So I actually already had this, but I grabbed this from Joann's. I really like the color of this. So I just kind of cut it to size and then placing that right on there. And then all I did was I just placed it with hot glue. That is it, guys. This probably only took me a good 5 minutes to do. There's a lot of tutorials out there, but this one is the quickest, I feel like. But yeah, make sure you take that sock off of there before you hot glue that. And then you put the rest of the sock back on there, because you definitely want to fold it over. And I always like to give it like wrinkles and cuff it a little bit. And then I decided to take some of this twine that you can get at Dollar Tree, and I decided to just tie it off for his hat. But you guys can do whatever you want. You can wrap it a little bit more, do a couple knots, that type of thing. And then I did a wooden bead, but some people like to do different things. But I like the wooden bead because it looks cuter. And then I just like to, hot glue that in place and hot glue that sock a little bit toward his nose. And you guys can just leave it like this, but I feel like I have to put something more on there. And I decided to put more string. I don't know. Sometimes you just need a little bit more. As you guys can see, I'm maybe doing this. I decided not to wrap it around, but you can always wrap it around, that type of thing. And then I decided maybe I need like a little shamrock or something like on his hat. And I'm like, maybe not. I'm not sure. So then I'm like, let's cut a little bit more, put more string on there. You just have to do what you want to do and just feel it out. So I did pull out these little stickers, and all I did was actually hot glue those right onto his hat. Now these actually stickers were in a pack. Oh God, I got those like a long time ago. They might have been from Dollar Tree, and they're like those foam stickers. And there it is, guys. he came out really cute. Now, I did make other gnomes last year, but in a different way, if you guys can see that. Different hats from Dollar Tree. They have little feet on them. I'm going to try to find that video for you, and I'll link it below. And if you guys like these little things, give me that thumbs up. And if you didn't subscribe, you can always subscribe, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye, guys. Take care.